Boom. I'm leading the show. Boom. Perfect.
Okay, so boom. So now more than ever before, I feel like people are arguing.
Of course.
Right. People are arguing, and I feel like it all comes down to they want to make their point across. They want to be right. Right? So there's an argument, and they want to know for sure if they are correct, which comes down to the basis of it is, what is the truth? So, okay, so boom, what is truth actually?
Well, truth, I think the Google terminology for truth would come out to, like, what is an absolute? What is the reality? What is a thought or a belief? And if you think about your thoughts and your beliefs, isn't that something that you construct based off of your own perception? So my version of truth is totally different from your version of truth.
Like a subjective truth.
Yeah, it's a subjective truth. So actually figuring out what is truth, you have to go to what is observable. Like, what can you physically see? Like, you can't go based off a thought.
Okay.
Even though that's what it is based off a thought.
Right. It's just so the way I see truth, right? The way that I break down truth, I feel like there's layers.
There's so many layers.
There's so many layers, right? Like, there's no clear-cut answers, right? So the way that I see truth is that, like you said, right, there's subjective truth. There's truth that's my truth, right? So that is the fugazi truth. It's up in the air. You can't prove it or disprove it, right? There's things that fall into that category, like, you know, religion, for instance, right? Because the same arguments that Christianity could use against Islam is the same arguments that Islam could use against Christianity, because there's not cold, hard facts. It's just subjective. Then on this truth cake, the next layer is factual truth. Right? There's no refuting it. The data's out there, and it's up for a person to either accept the truth or not accept it. What's your thought?
I think that there's a layer that you definitely missed out on. And I think that layer has to do with survivability, the ability to survive. Because if you think back to when we were, if you believe in evolution, so I don't really believe in evolution, but
we were,
but if you think
we were
back,
hairy. Smelly.
The time when we were hairy and smelly and in a tribe, let's just give it at that. If we didn't have truth, we wouldn't survive. Like, you have to be accountable with your word. Like, if you said, hey, there's no bear coming, like, we're fine, sleep well tonight, and there was a bear coming, and you lied about it, your whole tribe would die. So there is a part of truth that I think people need to understand, that
ingrained in us. Yeah,
it's ingrained in us. It's ingrained in us to tell the truth, and that we have a moral compass that when we are saying a lie, it doesn't feel right. Like, you know it in your heart when you said something that's not 100%.
It doesn't feel good.
It doesn't feel good.
Unless you're a psycho.
I mean, I'm a little bit of a psycho. Like,
Aren't we all, though?
But I don't think... Okay, so I know that we all lie. It's a lie to say you don't lie.
We all lie.
But I think it's not necessarily... what I do is a lie. It's just I don't tell the full truth. So it's a little different for me. I'm like, you know, I might have put trash into the neighbor's, neighbor's garbage can. When I mean some trash, I mean like 4 bags. But like it was, and they got a little mad.
I'm hanging out with a friend.
Yeah.
I didn't mention if it was a female or male.
No, but I'm just...
Friend nonetheless, though.
Friend nonetheless.
Right. I really like where your head's at with that, right? So basically...
So it's just another layer you got to think about. Like,
right. It's an ingrained thing when it comes to truth, when it comes to a lie. Truth is difficult because a lot of the times, right? A lot of the times you can't get to the bottom of it. And now more than ever before, people love to get pissed off and argue. I mean, I really do believe that people sit up all night. I mean, I've seen it. People have sat up all night just to argue about something that for you or me, you will never get to the bottom of it unless it's that second layer where there's facts. But even then, even when there's a number, people will make excuses for why that number is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Let me spat out a real quick one.
Well, I just want to add on to that. People would much rather, and it's sad, people would much rather be right than have peace. And I think Gandhi said that, and I was like, facts.
Damn.
So if you would rather be right than have peace, go fuck yourself. Just go fuck yourself. Take a knee. Go fuck yourself.
With a big weenie.
With a big weenie.
Fat one. Girth on 10. And you know, a lot of the times I honestly do, grab that. I honestly do feel like a lot of the times people will go down in a blazing fire for what they feel like is truth, even if it's irrational.
Well, I mean, isn't that where ego comes from? Is from irrationality?
Ego coupled with truth. Oof. That's a danger. Ooh, man, that is a very
That's an evil
dangerous
villain right there.
That's how Hitlers are born. You know what I mean? Hitler was like, this is my truth, and I have the biggest ego, and I'm a smooth talker.
Oh, you want to know a fun fact I learned about Hitler the other day?
What's up?
Hitler had a disformity from a doctor's perspective.
He had a small penis?
Yeah. Like, it was
For sure?
It was actually to the point where, like, his urethra, like, was on the, like, towards his ball sack.
Damn.
Like, it was that bad. So, like...
That makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Where are you going to put all that energy? He never busted a nut. Hitler never busted a nut. Now I kind of don't blame... No. Can't go that far. Can't go that far. But, I mean, if a man never busted a nut ever, dude, like... Because even priests bust nuts. Probably not where they're supposed to, but they're busting nuts nonetheless.
No, completely. But anyways, back to truth. Let's roll it back.
Back to truth. What is something, right? And obviously I have to ask some of this. So basically, what are some of the things that you find to be true that might not ever be provable? You know what I mean?
Spirituality, 100%.
Okay.
I mean, maybe not provable, or maybe there's not as much evidence.
Are you talking about a higher power?
Yeah, like there's, regardless of how you look at it, there's got to be something in control of this, because I've had way too many coincidences that were like not coincidences. I tell myself, like, I'm Channel 5 News for whoever's up there. Like, whenever they need some entertainment, they're like, oh, turn this chick on. Like, there's never a dull moment here.
Like, you get almost like
no
a
doubt.
sense... when those moments happen, do you get a sense of like, there's like a feeling inside where you're just kind of like, because when I think about truth, I get a feeling when I hear truth. Like, when I hear something that's bullshit, even consciously, even though I don't say that's bullshit, you know, like maybe your friend's telling you a story and you're like, that's bullshit, right?
Yeah.
But when something is told to me, and even though it could be a complete stranger, when that truth hits me, I get like a feeling where it's just
that
like
chicken skin.
It's true.
Yeah.
I have no data behind this. It's freaking true though.
Completely. Like, I don't consider myself like a diehard religious female woman, but I go to church every Friday and every Sunday just to listen to the message. Because sometimes there is some truth that pops out in there, whether I interpret it as divine or whether I interpret it as, you know, as God himself, but...
Because no one's in charge of your interpretation.
No, and...
It's just a message, what you do after that.
And it feels good. And it feels good to hear some positivity every now and then with our world being so chaotic at times.
Especially in our world right
Keyword
now.
at times.
Yeah.
But...
No, I absolutely feel that, right? Because...
that's a perception of truth.
That's a perception of truth. Because nowadays, it's never been a better time to be not a believer in God. It's a very, it's kind of unpopular, right? And so when people ask me, I can't lie to them. I'm not going to be a coward and be like, I don't believe in God, bro. You know, whatever. I'm not perfect, but that doesn't negate the fact that I acknowledge God. For instance, right? If you, for instance, like just like a quick talking point, hypothetically, right? I guess like imagine if you stumbled across like a hospital, fully, and you're walking in the woods, a hospital fully formed, you know, IVs, KG machines, freaking the whole nine, right? Top to bottom, fully formed, but you found it in the middle of the forest. Would you ever say, oh my gosh, I can't believe that this forest just so happened to put this shit together? Now, if I were to look at that hospital, I would say there are the fingerprints of not only intelligence, but probably a human built this, because I know what it looks like for a human to build something like this, right? Mm-hmm. So when I see things like the universe that we as humans are still so far from understanding, I can't help but to think that there is something smarter than I. When I look at the universe, I see intelligence. But that's my truth, because somebody might come along and be like, that's just a hospital and it put itself together. I'm saying,
No, I feel you. I get that.
You know what I mean?
No, I definitely can understand.
But both of us, we can never get down to the truth, because it's your truth and my truth.
And that's the beauty of it. And that truthfully is the beauty of it. Truthfully.
It does add a little razzle dazzle to life. Right?
So I have a question for you. Mm-hmm. How often do you lie?
Constantly. So I think that I'm going to be honest about lying.
No, I'm not going to shed it.
I'm going to be honest about lying,
yeah.
right? I feel like people lie more than they think that they do, because humans are geared to make ourselves look very good.
No, completely.
I think that humans are, I think humans are geared to make ourselves very good. People love to add a filter. People love, that's why social media
Yeah, you
booms.
love the rose-colored glasses,
You know what I mean?
No, completely.
So people love to lie on social media. If you have social media, you at least lied once or twice, right? Your life ain't that cool. Your life ain't that cool. You add a filter, you lied, because that ain't your face. You know what I mean?
No, completely.
How many people out there have called out of work? How many people out there have not told that their significant other that an ex randomly texted them, and to avoid an argument, they never brought it up in the first place? How many people have lied about their body count?
Is that a lie, or is that an exaggeration, or an underestimate?
I think that if you're anything that is not completely factual when it comes to numbers.
Oh, okay. When it comes to numbers. Okay, numbers different.
Numbers ain't lying. If you say, I only got 7 bodies, but it's actually 34, you lied.
Oh yeah, you always, whenever it comes to a woman who asks them a body count, you always times it by 2.
Or 3 at least.
Jesus.
Actually, in every decade, the number that you times goes up. So if it's 2, what?
So if I'm 20, then it would be times it by 2.
No. Like every decade. So for instance, like in the early 2000s, when we were still in like 2012, it was 2. But now in 2021, you times it by 3. And then in 2030s,
okay.
2030s, you times it by 4.
Okay.
Because we're degrading. But besides the point, that's besides the point. There are lies. There's so many lies that people say, and I feel like people don't want to admit it, because oftentimes, right, when we're talking about truth, oftentimes the truth comes with consequences. Lies often don't, because you get to avoid the consequences that comes behind it. You know what I mean? For instance, somebody says, "What do you think?"
Wait. I just need to stop you there. I don't think you avoid it. You just postpone it. And I think that's what our generation is all about. Procrastinating. We're just procrastinating the truth, because eventually the truth comes out. No matter what. No matter how you look at it, the truth will always arise. Whether it's because you morally can't take it, or because the facts line up, in reality.
Right.
So, you're just postponing it.
But there are a lot of people who are getting away with it, though. Not everybody's truth is coming out right away. Think about this.
Postponed.
So you're saying eventually down the line?
Oh, 100%.
100%?
100%. Because, as much as you want to look at what's going on in today's society, we have too much communication with
information.
Everybody. Information's out there, whether it's truthful or not. There's too much information out there. Like, you're going to figure out, dots will start to add up eventually.
Do you think that in today's society...
Sorry.
It's getting harder to, do you think in today's society, it's getting harder to lie, and it's the truth is more accessible and it's up to the person to digest it. For instance, right? I mean, like, we have facts. There's information, right?
Facts.
Love them. Gotta love them. I don't know them all, right? I don't know them all. But if I wanted to, if somebody says something, right? It's up to me to go out there, look it up. You know what I mean?
Okay. I respect that.
Yeah.
Do you lie more to other people or to yourself? Because for me, I lie to myself more than I lie to anybody
Really?
else. Yeah.
I'm actually the opposite. I actually am forced to lie to other people because I'm so honest to myself, and I feel like other people aren't really ready for all that. Like, I am so brutally honest with myself that some people might call it like degrading or self-deprecating. But I've tried this. I've tried to be very honest with people, and honestly, it's costed me friendships. It's costed me job problems, you know?
Yeah.
I've been honest to the point, you know, I don't want to lie. That's the thing. I don't wake up like, oh, today, you know what? Fantastic day to lie. I don't want to lie. But like you said before, sometimes lying comes down to survivability. If I have to lie to my job in order to keep that shit, you know, I lied about being bipolar for years. I knew deep down inside, but
Sorry, it's not funny. I've just...
It kind of is funny. I've done dumb shit because of it. But regardless of the fact, right? I mean, I could have not even had my job in the first place had I been honest about it, you know?
Completely.
I took a gamble. So I think that a lot of liars, they honestly just kind of like lie out of necessity. Not all. They're psychos. But a lot of people be lying just to survive. Just to survive.
Yeah, I get that. I think that's what comes down to it 50% of the time. I think 50%. The other 50% is shits and giggles.
You know what's funny? How we just spat out 50%? Just sent that shit, bro. No context, bro. And then we're like, yo, that's the truth. Ain't nobody gonna tell us shit after this. You know what I mean?
Completely.
And I feel like that's exactly what people do in today's society, right?
God.
But that's not, you know, obviously this is for entertainment purposes / you know, whatever other type of purposes. But, you know, we're not unique. I feel like people love to think that, oh my God, I'm so unique. No, dude. I feel like we're coral. I feel like humans are like coral. You're just clone of another person with slight deviation. Meaning whatever you do, probably somebody else, whatever you've thought, whatever you've done, somebody else has probably thought, said, ain't nothing new under the sun. So if you're lying about things, somebody else is lying about things. If you feel like something's the truth about something, somebody else feels like it's the truth about something. What's your take on it?
I'm so perplexed with that.
Right.
Because a part of me is like,
The
God,
ego is
my ego is like, I am something
I'm my
different.
own sunflower. I'm my own snowflake.
I'm not your everyday woman. But at the same time, I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, we are like I like to see myself as other people in different bodies. That's why I try to treat everybody with as much love as I can.
We're experiencing things as different.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we're oh God, yeah.
Weird, right?
Weird. We're all one at the end of the day. Like as much as we like to be our own individual, like
Right.
we need to start thinking as like a, as a
Collective.
As a collective. We are not a collective. And once we get to a collective mindset, that's when I think we're going to start evolving. Because right now we are
More polarized than
We're
ever
all
before.
delusional creatures. Like if you think as an influencer, you're making your mark on the world, like come fuck yourself.
Where's your ego at? Is
No,
your
seriously,
ego that
what are
high?
you doing for the world other than making enough money and try to make people have simple
Right.
self-gratification?
You danced on TikTok and you're really walking around as if you're doing something in life?
No, you're not doing
You're not doing shit.
No, you're not helping society. You're just consuming. You're a consumer. Like we are in the age of delusion. Like we think, you're going to give back some money to organizations because we won all this money. Like no. Go put your hand in some dirt and get yourself to work.
Right.
Like, that's the truth of it. Like, we are in a delusional state of mind. We need to get out of this delusion and actually
Get grounded.
Get grounded.
Get grounded again.
Be honest. Like, I need to be more honest. I'm not perfect. I need to be more honest with myself. Like, I tell myself, like, I'm okay. Don't cry. But I want to cry every moment.
Every freaking day.
Every moment. I want to sit in the shower with my clothes on and cry and listen to Mariah Carey emotions, you know? But I don't.
As a man, the truth right now is more problematic than ever before, just subjectively.
Yeah.
I feel like now as a man, I honestly am put into a position where I can't be as honest as I want to be. For instance, if I am a man, right, which I identify as, I do identify as a man. So what happens is I'm just being myself, right? I'm on the spectrum of more of a masculine dude, quote unquote. But yet again, if I, no matter what I do, I'm either a toxic man or I'm a simp in today's society, depending on what happens. And, to me, it's just like the truth is excusable dependent on the person. And I feel like that's in the culture of selective outrage. For instance, a gay person a gay guy can say things that a straight man can't, even if they both said the same truth. These are the type of identity politics that we're playing these days. Even though it was the same truth, y'all said the exact same thing. This person get a pass, this person don't. That's why I feel like people lie. That's why I feel like when somebody says something that you vibe to, you smash the like, but you don't comment.
Oh, that was like...
Yep.
That was like 21st century Gandhi right there. Oof.
You know what I mean? I'm trying. I think he's in me right now. Whoa. So, I mean, there's just like... But the internet is breeding cowardness. The internet is breeding... It's allowing us to lie to ourselves in this self-cowardice.
I agree with that, but I also think it's breeding impulsivity. Like, I don't think that we are actually thinking about what we are saying. Like, if you had to write a letter and revise it and type that on a typewriter 500 times because you, like, missed a few letters, like, you would be way more attentive. You'd be way more, you would acknowledge what you were saying a whole lot more than if you were just typing and send,
Yeah.
Like, I think it's just impulsive. Like, we need to just take a step back. And then if it's not something that we're going to be proud to show our children. If you're not proud to show your child your comment, don't send it.
I like what you said there when it comes to impulsivity and comments, right? Because I feel like when you read stuff on the internet, right? People don't want to do their due diligence to look up facts, right?
No.
Meaning that if somebody says 90% of women in Dubai are white, which they did say that in one of our videos, a lot of people will not look that shit up. They're like, yeah, I guess 90% of women in Dubai are white. I guess that's what it is, right? So that all ties into what is truth. I feel like truth takes a lot of responsibility and homework to actually attain it. You can't just sit there. Lies are lazy. Truth is hard. And I feel like in today's society, people don't want to do the hard work of reaching for truth. They rather live in lies. It's easy.
We're doing a survey around the country on the way population handles themselves and speaks and deals with their friends and interact with their peers.